In part 28 of Emblem Engage, we return back to the main story. Now, we get to the map and we check out the new units because I feel like I need to use at least one of these new ones. I eventually started using Madeline. I considered using Nell, but she's really mid. Rafal requires Nell, and most of the other ones I already basically have on my team. I don't particularly care about the rest of them, and I know that Armor Knights can be really strong with Louis, so I decided to pick her up. So we start the chapter, and we find a dancer who was called to some spooky ruins by a voice. Turns out it's the last of Solm's emblem rings, Emblem Corin. So we start the map, and we have to rush to get into the second room to save this dancer. So we bully enough of the corrupted, break down the wall so we can talk to the dancer man. Here we recruit the one dancer of this game, Seedall. So let's talk about him. Except there's not really much to talk about. He's basically a base healer class with very bad stats, but he can dance. He can't do much, but he can make our best unit act twice. So he's fairly invaluable, but he doesn't have the stats to be in any real combat, meaning that positioning him makes him. You have to be very precise with positioning. Anyway, we start the map, and this map has a gimmick where they're trying to introduce Corin's special ability. So around the stage there is this miasma that gives, if we stand in it, any of us minus 20 defense and res, while giving the enemy plus 20 defense and res. Now Corin can use their Dragon Veins to remove this effect by applying a new effect to the area. This map is horribly slow since the negative effects are so oppressive we really can't approach anywhere where those tiles are. So we need Corin to remove the effects. So Corin's effects change based off the type of unit she's equipped with, and for Seedall, it's putting up ice pillars. And the pillars can be destroyed, but that requires more actions, making us go slower. Finally, it's essentially a series of rooms, and to get into each one of them, you need to destroy the door, which is even more actions, which slows us down even more. I mean, this map takes us almost twice as long as any other map that I've done. The map is slow, but I mean fairly easy. We can't go too fast because of all the different negative effects and stuff that slows us down. It's easy until around the final room. So the final room is jam-packed with enemies, mages, and just a whole bunch of enemies. Around the same time, to try and get us to move faster, which is contradictory to what this stage seemed to be based around, to try and get us to move faster, they release a number of overpowered berserkers with killer axes. This is to try and rush us to the finish. Now I try and actually take on / stall the berserkers, but we need to rerun several times since Madeline and Boucher aren't tanky enough to survive a hit, but the killer axe gives them like a 25 to 30% chance to crit, and if so, we are dead. Finally, we clear out the enemies in that bottom room, and we are good to escape the map. But then there's a panic, as I specifically lay it out so then Alir can head down to escape. And that's when I realized I need Seedall actually to be the one to escape, not Alir. We managed to get lucky and dodge a couple more crits, which allow us to survive another turn and escape from the ruins. We then meet Vale, who greets us happily before everybody turns on her about all the murdering and stealing and stuff. Vale is very confused because she didn't do any of that. She doesn't remember doing any of that, at least, and runs away. Gris then runs into Vale, who is, Vale is all confused about why everybody's being so mean to her and why her father wants her to do all these evil things. Gris then says to himself that Vale is, quote, the other one, and says that the other people must clearly be lying because how could she do something bad and not remember? Vale, now happy, joins Gris and they head off towards Firene.